You are now listening to Shoot the Shit with your hosts, Shawnee Caulfield and Sal Licata. Enjoy the show. Woo!
Hey everybody, welcome to Seany and Sal Shoot the Shit, episode 2. This is your Major Mark's favorite Major Mark, Shawnee Caulfield.
Shawnee, good job today. No nervous clapping at the beginning or anything like that. I love it. I am Sal Licata. Some of you may know me from WFAN Radio or SNY TV in New York, but I am also a Major Mark. Been an original Major Mark from day one. Love the podcast, and now I love this podcast, getting a chance to talk about it with you, Shawnee.
Yep, absolutely. And this week we're going to be more, formal and organized, and we're going to start with some follow-up. So I'll start with the follow-up. My first thing is that on the Nicholai Volkov.
Nicholai Volkov,
Volkov.
Well, you get, come on, he's a legend. Nicholai Volkov.
Nicholai Volkov. On that figure, it says Nicholai, his action is called the Nicholai Kickolai. I mean, come on, that is like, how funny is that? Like, that is so...
We were too wrapped up in unboxing, and it was like our first podcast. So I know we texted after that, and you showed me the picture. We were both dying laughing because somebody posted that in the group.
Yep.
Come on, that is hilarious. Nicholai.
Whoever snuck that in there, I mean, I'm so proud of them.
That was fantastic. We missed a couple of things. That was one that we missed from last week. What else you got in follow-up?
So Dustin Johns, a fellow Major Mark, he messaged me to let me know I was wrong. It wasn't Richard or Gene or Bill Simmons. It wasn't Gene or Bill Simmons that was the workout. It was actually Richard Simmons. So I apologize.
No, I apologize because I heard you say it, and I don't know. Were we unboxing at the moment? I was all caught up in the figures.
Yes.
And I was like I was half listening to you. And I think you said Bill Simmons, and I was like, whatever. And in my mind, I didn't think it through enough to correct it. But yes, it was not Bill or G. Now, do you know who Bill Simmons is, right?
Bill Simmons is the basketball player. Yeah.
No, he's the podcast guy that is an analyst for.
Oh, that's right.
Bill Simmons is, famous writer and the Red Sox and Celtics fan. Yeah.
Yeah, he's always on the Fan. He's always on the Fan.
He used to be more so, I think, now than he is now. But yes, Bill Simmons he was on ESPN, one of the most known. He created that column.
You're right, Sal. He was on with Mike a lot. Yes.
And then, do you know who Gene Simmons is?
Gene Simmons is from Kiss.
Okay, all right. And now you know who Richard Simmons is.
Yeah, Richard Simmons, I've always known because I remember those VHS tapes.
We're gonna get some Richard Simmons workout videos.
Funny story, quick. When I was like little fat 10-year-old Shawnee, they would give me those tapes so that I would lose weight. Yeah. Imagine me as a 10-year-old Tubster doing the workout. Oh my God, man.
The next vlog, you got to recreate that, I think. Richard Simmons, Shawnee workout. In the outfits that Richard Simmons wears. All right, what else we got, Shawnee?
And the last thing I got is the going back and listening and critiquing. And thanks, a lot of you listened, and we appreciate you so much, and following and subscribing. And I got a lot of good feedback. Really, it was mostly me because I'm newer to this than you, Sal, and my mother-in-law and somebody else said I was clapping. And when I get excited. A New Yorker, like, I'm like this, like, I feel like I'm like one of the hood girls that, like, when you're ready to fight and you take off the earrings, like,
hey, let's go. Yeah.
That's how I am, like, because I'm so passionate, but.
I thought you did a good job, but it was fun. Like, I was mad at myself for half listening, which happens, by the way, in broadcasting all the time. I've called games as an analyst, and the play guy says something and I don't hear him, or vice versa. I've done radio shows like that, so it happens. We do need to pay more attention. But I thought you were fine, Shawnee. I wanted you to kick it off because you are the major mark of major marks. You're the star of the show, so you should kick it off. And you know what? You'll get used to it. It's only episode 1. I think we'll be better here as we go on.
I agree, brother, but I'm not the star. We're both stars. We're all stars, and I appreciate it. But do you have anything for follow-up?
I don't. Other than that, like we said, I mean, obviously the follow-ups that we just hit on, but watching back and thinking different things that we could have done a little differently. The number one thing was probably the structure, which we now have in order, and I think that's going to be better as we move forward. So we have a structure of certain topics that we want to hit, and then bullet points from each of that. You want to get into the first one now?
Yeah, so this is the first segment. It's the major pod recap, baby.
Nice. I like the ad-lib, Sean.
So speaking of like the ad-lib, right? We're going to talk about Powertown. So what do you think, Sal? Because you know these old guys better than me, So what do you think about like the Von Erichs, the Bruiser Brodies? What do you think about that?
Okay, couple things. I think the figures look pretty cool. I am 1,000% out on these figures. A, it's too much. Yeah, it's just too much. B, there are, like you said, like I'm older than you are. I told you I go back to like 85. This is even before that. Like these are guys that I've heard of before, but to get a figure of it, I think you got to be deep in a collecting to appreciate even the first line. And the boys are talking about it now. Powertown is a sponsor, so I think that's really cool. And it's great for the fig community, giving rare figures, rare guys. But for me personally, I think it's a cool idea. I think the figs look sick. I think the boxes look pretty cool from what we see. I'm out on Powertown. It's too much, and it's not anywhere near my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, it's not even close to me, but I'm gonna support. I'm not gonna get all the figures because some of them I frankly don't care about. I'm gonna most likely get a Von Erich so we can unbox on the show, and I'm gonna get a Bruiser Brody as well. So
the Brody would be one that I might be interested in because of, what was that show? The Dark Side of the Ring?
Oh, Dark Side of the Ring. Yes.
Right. So that was pretty cool. So to have a representation of him, I think would be cool. But Zombie has one coming out.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So then I have to decide now the knock on the Zombie one would be Bruiser Brody doesn't really fit my Hasbro / Mattel / zombie genre. Like I'm looking for a specific 80s, 90s. Yeah. This is different, so maybe it is better to get the Powertown there. So maybe I shouldn't say I'm 100% out, but it's not going to be something that I'd be collecting by series. And the majority of guys so far, by the names that have been released, I have no interest in.
I mean, it's such a smart business move to have the pod guys.
100%.
Oh, bro, like when they announced it, I mean, I was just waiting for it. I knew it was going to happen because, I mean, I'm pretty sure the pod had so much to do with backing the ring, like the boys were out there, like everybody back the ring. So when you have that kind of push where people will buy because they're watching the boys, it's worth whatever investment it is,
or at least be aware of it. Like I would not know any of this stuff. Now I know I've become a collector through them. But I wouldn't know any of this stuff existed if not for them. So they keep me up with the news. They keep up with the releases, all this stuff. They are the guys in the community. So it's 100% smart by not only Powertown, but anybody to get them involved, because otherwise I would have no idea that it even existed. And I think the majority of people are probably the same.
Yeah, that's what I rely on the Facebook group for so much is all those new releases that I would never know about, like my shirt and my hat by WrestleBuds. Like I would have never known about that if it wasn't for the group, So
did you hear, I see you got the Met stuff on. I know we got a couple of things to get to from the pod. Did you hear them talking about where Brian was talking about Joe McEwing?
Yes.
And his love for McEwing. And then Broski goes, is he related to Patrick Ewing? I mean, come on, dude.
You know why I did like Joe McEwing growing up. I did. And I remember him more as a St. Louis Cardinal because they used to call him Little Big Mac. Because he was on the team with Mark McGuire and
Little Mac, right? There was Big Mac and Little Mac.
Big Mac and Little Mac. So I know I love Joe McEwing as a Met, but I really remember him as a Cardinal.
I just think it's so funny the Broski lack of he knows Ewing. Nothing about
nothing.
It's comical to me, and Brian loves it, and Broski has zero idea.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead.
What about Broski? So you said you had a great Broski
Yeah,
story.
two things that I want to get to. I know you want to get to the intro song.
Yeah.
But so I'm listening to the pod and I hear Broski shout us out, right? He says that he bought an LJN poster from me, which he did.
Yep.
I had an extra LJN Dream Team, which is very hard to find, Valentine and Beefcake poster. And I knew he needed it to near complete his collection. And then he starts going off on posters that he still needs. And there are only like a few of them, but he says he needs the Tito Santana Strike Force LJN poster. There were two different ones. There was the original Tito Santana, which is a very common, easy one to find, and then one when he was a single in a single package with the Strike Force gear on. That's the more rare figure and more rare poster. So he names the posters that he needs, and the Tito Santana is one of them. And I'm like, dude, I sold you that poster last year. So I hit him up after I hear this, and it was nice that he gave us a shout out and said, he bought the poster from Sal, and him and Shawnee are doing the podcast, and good luck and best wishes and all that stuff. Because I have not talked to either of them about this. This is just you and I talking about it and getting it going.
Of course.
But anyway, so I DM him. I talk to him sometimes on Facebook. I'm like, yo, I sold you. You don't need the Tito poster. And that's like the hardest one to find aside from the ones that are impossible that he was talking about with Macho and Jake. I sold that to you last year. He's like, you did? And then I started to freak out thinking like, did he not get it? Like, I know I mailed it. That was an expensive piece. Like, and then I went back and checked the receipts. I have not only a receipt with the tracking number, but also that he confirmed after I said, yo, did you get the poster okay?
That he got it.
Got it all good. Thanks, bro. He's like, I got to go back and check. I'm like, yeah, you do. That's an expensive poster. I mean, come on.
That's so Broski, right? Isn't it? Like, that's so Broski, man. But I do that too. Story. I do that too, Sal, sometimes. Like, I swear sometimes I order something and I get it and then I find it again and I'm like, I already had it. Like,
right.
It just happens sometimes, you know? Like,
I do that with Ringside, and I get it with Broski. He's so busy. But dude, this is I'm talking an expensive poster.
It's a rare piece, yeah.
A rare piece, expensive poster. Like, you would not forget if you had that, except for Broski. I do that I do it with Ringside because it's so delayed.
Yes.
Stuff comes out, you buy it. Like, I honestly don't remember what I bought 2 months ago. Yes. And it was a boatload of stuff when they had all those releases with the Mega Powers and everything.
Same here.
So then I see it, I'm surfing the site and I see it. I'm like, oh, do I have that? I don't know. Yep. So then I go and buy it and then whatever. So it happens. It does happen.
It happens.
But
I agree. I agree, Sal. When you have rare pieces like that, like me, I know my rare pieces. I know what I have, you know? But the thing is, Broski has so many rare pieces that it's like, it's impossible to keep track of, you know?
Agreed. And I think he's been out on the LJM posters for a little bit. He went so far, and then he basically had only the hardest ones left. So that's why I sold him that Tito one. I actually didn't have an extra. I sold him mine at the time. That was it, because it was going for a ridiculous price. I was like, screw it, what am I going to do? And then I came across an additional Dream Team one. So now he should be near complete. And so I knew, because I would always... that's my wheelhouse, the LJN figures and the posters. So for years, I've been following along with his collection, and he inspired me to collect. Matter of fact, I gave him one of the first interactions I had with him. I gave him an LJN Jim Neidhart poster just for free, because I was like, I'm not going to collect these. Of course, then I ended up starting collecting. Yeah, right.
But my favorite, I'll go on to the song, but my favorite thing of that's displayed of yours is the magazines, and I love how you change them out every month. Like, that to me, it brings me back. Like, it really does, I
try to take a picture and post it in the group too every month. It's cool. So I bought not everyone, but I think from around 87, let's say, or maybe 85, not the first year, through 92, my wheelhouse. And then I have them in that magazine rack. That was the idea to have, and I rotate them out each month. It keeps it cool. Man, those things, you remember getting them as a kid? Like, damn, I had that as a kid. I loved it.
I remember, it reminds me of like when there was no social media and you would have to go into a magazine store and go buy the magazine. So like, I remember, like, that's how it brings me back. But Yeah, it's just one of those things that like it's the nostalgia of the collecting of it, you know.
Dude, I lived for those as a 9, 10, 11-year-old. I remember getting them each month.
Yep.
It was I thought I was learning something new and different with those magazines. It was, oh man. And I've gone back and like rewatched old stuff in sequential order and at the same time read those magazines that line up with the time just for
Wow,
fun.
that's smart. But
Yeah.
all right, the next topic is so the major pod, they changed their it's the same tune, which we all love and we sing, and I sing it every time I listen. But
So do you listen with the commercials and jingles and all that or no?
no, so I listen to the video version, but I'm such a psycho that I need to listen to the audio version, the beginning of it, and then I listen to the video version.
Interesting. Now you watch the video version or you just listen to it?
I watch it. I watch
Oh,
the
okay.
video version.
So you listen to the audio of the song.
Yes.
And then, because it's not on the video version?
It's not on the video version. So
what? Okay.
Yeah, so I need the jingle like in my head, and then I go to the video version, and the video version doesn't have it.
Okay. I mean, I've been listening since day one, so I was into the jingles and all that stuff, and I think they're great. But since the Patreon and I want to listen to it early,
yeah,
I go no commercials, no nothing.
Anymore. Yeah, I get that for sure. But they have so the guy who does the band called Downstate, who does all of their songs basically, did it for free for them, and it's more of a rock and roll version, and an upgraded version. You know, I
get the evolution, right? You get a change.
Yes. A lot of major marks are complaining, and I get it, because it's like change is a hard thing, you know. People don't like change. I prefer the old song better, and it was just a regular major mark who made that song. Like, so it makes it more commercialized, I guess, Sal, and that's what it is, you know.
I think people get used to the theme song. Like, you don't want to hear whether it's your favorite show, whatever it may be. You like the original theme song, but I get their perspective trying to change it up. Like I said, 100%. For me, doesn't really make a difference. Although I will tell you, the times where I have chosen to go back and listen or listen to a current podcast with the elements involved, I do love the jingles and stuff. It awesome. Does make it more fun. I know.
Yeah, it drew me in. Like, having a song like that just draws people in, and you're like, whoa, what is this thing? Like, what is this show? This is a great tune, you know. But yeah, so we got our next segment, and it's the Patreon Facebook group posts.
Yeah, I love this idea, Shawnee, where we'll have a segment each week where we see posts that catch our eye throughout the course of a week and discuss that post. It doesn't have to be about the podcast. It's about whatever. And there were a couple that I saw this week. I know you had some as well that would jump out at you. Some pretty cool posts from the group.
Start it up for us, Al. Which ones did you see?
So there were a couple, and it's hard to keep track. We're talking about it today as I was driving in, as we're trying to organize and come up with the ideas here. But there's some that I love from the sports collectors. I guess we'll start with the one that I saw, and I don't know if you have the name, Shawnee, or if I did here. But the one dude that had the Devils jersey,
I'll find it.
Brian,
I'll find it right now. Just keep.
I don't have his name, but he posted a picture of his Devils jersey with Myers on the back, the Myers Devils jersey, which I thought was such a cool piece, especially for a Devils fan. I'm a sports guy, so I have a ton of sports memorabilia. I'm sure you do too, Shawnee. Jerseys are a cool thing. That's a unique piece, and it jumps out. Like, if I were a Devils fan, I would love that piece. You're a fan of the pod, you're a fan of the Devils, and then you have it mixed together. That was one that caught my attention for sure. There was another one too, and I wrote down the name, but I now actually forget what it was. Jeremy Shoup.
It was Kevin. Sorry to interrupt you, Sal.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was Kevin Joseph Garifo.
Okay, there you go. That sounds right. And he had the post about the Devils jersey, which was great, right? Yeah. The Brian jersey, you saw that? That's awesome. Yeah, there you go. We're seeing it on there. Yeah, the Hawkins, look at that. Yeah. That's sick. 31 Hawkins. And you know why? You know why it's 31, right?
No.
Piazza.
Oh, his favorite number is 31.
That's right. He loved, because he loved Piazza.
Yep.
Who did? There was another one. Yeah, right, exactly. There was another one, Shawnee, with Jeremy Shoup. Now, can I search? It was a baseball collector's post. He posted something. I don't know why. I just wrote it down real quick and then I forgot. I want to see what he did here. but Jeremy Shoof in the group had a cool post about baseball memorabilia, his
The
favorite piece.
ticket stubs.
And
Right?
then I'm not sure if it was that or his favorite piece, but whatever. It got me thinking, like, oh, this is pretty cool. And there's a lot of sports fans, obviously. The major marks are sports fans all over the country. And, it just got me thinking of different sports memorabilia pieces and
Yep.
favorite stuff. And maybe we could do more on that as we evolve here as a podcast. But it caught my eye what he was doing. And I had the name, and I guess I didn't save the post.
I'll tell
here.
you, it says, for the baseball fans and collectors, what do you collect from stadiums you visit other than ticket stubs and souvenir cups? Today starts mine and my brother's dream of seeing a game at every stadium in the country. This is obviously going to take years to accomplish, but I'd like to start a unique collection starting today in Baltimore.
That's the one. Perfect. Now, I love that. And Jeremy, I'm with you. I have 8 stadiums to go. And for me, whether it is a beer cup that I take back or a bobblehead, sometimes I like to go to the stadium specifically for giveaways, because then, represents the time that you were there. And then you collect, I've been all 30 or however many you've been to. You do that, Shawnee? You get sports collectibles?
So I have a couple really good pieces. I have to say, my dad has probably one of my favorite pieces. My dad was a New York City detective, and he worked in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. And I don't know if you know Joe Pepitone.
Yeah, sure. My mother's maiden name is Pepitone, so I'm very familiar. My uncles would always do it. They were all Pepitone, so I'm very familiar with it.
So I'll keep it short, but the short version is Joe Pepitone went away with his wife, and his granddaughter had a party at his house while he was away, and somebody stole his Brooklyn Dodgers World Series ring, and my dad got it back.
Wow.
And he signed a picture for my dad. Thank you so much, Tommy, Joe Pepitone. And he gave my dad a baseball signed by Joe Torre that said 3-peat. And if you remember, the Yankees didn't win that 4th year. They lost to the Diamondbacks. So if they would have won that 4th year, that baseball wouldn't have meant anything, because it would have been a 4-peat.
Oh, right. But it stayed at the 3-peat because they won the 3 straight before losing Arizona.
Exactly. My dad still has the ball and the picture.
So, is your dad a Yankee fan or no?
No, he's a Mets fan. My mom
that's what I thought.
Fan. Yeah.
The thing I love about that, though, is that it's because of what your dad did to get it, right? Yeah, the piece itself is really cool, but the fact that he could say that I found that ring that was stolen, that's freaking great. That's amazing. A great story, Sean.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. Yep.
So that's a good idea. I think each week we could try to look for some sports posts too and discuss it in different sports memorabilia, because that is an untapped market in this group that we should really get into as big sports fans. There was another one that you had, right? The big post that you saw.
Yeah. Full disclosure, everybody. We're trying not to get too much into sports, because Sal does this all day, every day. So we kind of don't want to go too into it, but we're willing to do it if you guys want to hear it.
In the way of like a collector.
Yes, in a collection way. Yes.
Yeah, that I don't really get to talk about a little. We could have some fun with other stuff that happens with sports too, but I love the idea that there's so many people in the group that are passionate sports fans in whatever market they're in, and obviously have memorabilia as collectors.
Yeah, I agree. And the post that I saw, a couple of posts, but this one really got to me, was the last night by John I. The movie posters. He had 2,400 of them. Over 20 years of working in a movie theater, he collected 2,400 movie posters and was like, "Let me know which ones you want, and I'll sell them, to you." John
Ignor Morello or something like that.
Yes, I couldn't pronounce the last name. So
John
I. I'm good with Italian last names, but some of them are just too much,
That post, I think, caught a lot of people's eyes. Dude, that is insane. So you have some that you would want from them?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think about it like it would be older movies, obviously, but like Aladdin, I would love that. I love Aladdin. I'm a big Beauty and the Beast guy. The Sandlot. I mean, Field of Dreams. There's so many good movies, great movies. What about you?
I've actually had a list of this for a while, because I have a theater room that I try to watch the sports in and movies or whatever.
That room is dope, bro.
Thank you. To decorate it, it's fun. I only have a couple. I actually have Muppets in Manhattan, because I had that poster when I lived in the city in Manhattan. That was one of my
I
favorite
love
movies as a
that.
kid.
I love that.
But dude, like Grease for me is an
Grease
all-time
is a great.
classic.
I love it.
We talked about the Tommy Boy, Billy Madison.
Yep.
My Cousin Vinny, one of my favorites. 8 Mile. I mean, you're talking about old school and ones that would be sentimental. Like I think the first movie I ever saw in theaters was the movie Splash, which was before probably you were born. Things like that. But I love movie posters. That collection that he had, John I, was sick,
insane,
dude.
insane. I wish I could. Sometimes I wish I could go. Like I don't know if you know Tugboat guy Derek Short.
I know of him through the pod. I don't know him personally.
So MWO in your house, they did like basically like a video of his collection.
Bro, now that's La Puma and Jake Wyatt, right?
Yes, they did two. They had to make it into 2 parts because it was so outrageous. Bro, I told him at the live show, like, I need to come one day and tour it. Bro, the kid has the most outrageous memorabilia I've ever seen in my life. Pizza boxes of Hulk Hogan signed by Hulk Hogan. Like, it's insane. It's insane. But
I think there's so much. I think it's cool where that's why I love the pod and the group. Yep. It's not just about the pod. It's also about the group where you have the option to share your shit with everybody. That's what I love doing. I'm not going to tweet pictures of it all the time. Nope. My followers don't want that. But in that group, we're all the collectors. I love seeing other people's collection.
I agree. Like, what would I think about it all the time. Like, if we had we always say last episode we said like it's an outlet. I mean, it couldn't get more of an outlet to actually post. Because who sees our collections? Our wives don't care. Right. You know what I mean? Most of our wives don't care. They hate it. Yeah.
No, she cares when I say, "Hey, I just sold a figure for $400." $400? What? What are you doing?
I'm getting a new bag.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, so that and the second post I saw, Max Heron, he actually is a major mark that lives in Canada. He did a 6 set of Pogs. I'm gonna find it for you guys, but I'm in the set actually. He was gracious enough to put me in the set. But
dude, you are so fucking over. It's unbelievable.
I'm honestly, I feel so blessed. And I love the community so much. But look at these Pogs. I mean, they are just really, they're just really awesome, man. You got me, you got Smart Mark, you got Maven, you got Captain Shoes, Brian, Broski, and there's a place to sign up here. So if you want to get the card signed, there's that white space. So
that's cool.
He has them for sale right now. If you guys want to go and support, it's maxheron.com, maxheron.com.
Yo, that's the other thing, Shawnee, before we move on. Like, there are so many talented people in this group that do so many different things. I think it's so cool who's a great artist and how, like, TTD came about and Kinnick and everybody else. You know, the dude with the cards now. Like, there's so many different people that do different things. I think it's just awesome. It's been such a fun thing to be a part of.
I mean, we're lucky enough to work with one of them. Bo is so talented. I mean, like Bo, if you guys don't know, Bo edits when we need editing. He made our so Max did the heads for our logo, but Bo did the other logo. Like, he put it together, you know. And I love it. I think it looks great, you know. So you're right. We're so lucky. Did you know TTD actually does the Micro Brawler art?
I think I knew just from listening that he designed a lot of that. Yeah,
he does it all. He's a stud. Like, I don't even know how he has time to shit, you know? I love TTD. I met him and his mate, Willie, and in Live 11, and they were the 2 nicest, sweetest guys. And I spoke to them for about 30 minutes to an hour, just speaking, you know. And they
came in for that?
Yeah, they came
Live
in.
11? Oh,
it was in Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah, it was awesome, man.
Oh, dude, one other thing. Maybe we'll do this next week, but one other thing. Do you hear about the boys talking about opening up a store in Orlando?
Bro, that would be, I mean, oh my. And then they're saying if Kinnick doesn't move, it's not happening.
What is Kinnick doing? Kinnick's got to get his ass down there.
Kinnick,
you don't need to be here in Jersey.
There, bro. Kinnick.
I want to quit my job and go down there. Are you kidding me? See you later, WFAN. I want to go work for Broski and Brian in Orlando.
Another guy who doesn't sleep. I don't know how he does it. I mean, he single-handedly runs the logistics of everything.
Yeah, I know.
Most things,
It's so cool how everything came together.
How funny was it when I put up the teaser the day before we dropped the podcast? I showed the side of your head and people thought it was
I know. Well, all bald guys do not look alike.
Exactly,
okay?
right? Exactly. Shame on you, Major Marks.
All right, Shawnee. Are we on to this
Yes.
week in collecting?
Yes.
Twick is what we'll call it.
Yeah, so
a rip-off of Twib.
Yeah, so this week is going to be like we talked about before. It's like this week in baseball, right? Like, so
right.
what happened in the collecting world, right? That's what we're going to have this segment for, to go over with the Major Marks and let them know, hey, what did we do? What came out and things like that.
All right, so for you want to start us off here?
Yeah, I'll start us off. So I got the glow-in-the-dark atom bomb.
Okay.
I should have brought it closer to me, but I don't have it. And I don't want to.
You can get up and get it. I'll fill time right here. So this is from Cella,
okay,
which I do not have. The only thing I ordered from Cella, and I heard them giving the rundown of when we can expect some stuff. I ordered the Haku from Cella, King Haku, which I think would be perfect fitting in with the Mattel retros and zombie figs and Hasbro's. So that's why I went with the King Haku. I didn't get into the Dynamite Kid stuff early on. It just wasn't. I had the Dynamite in the LJN. And I didn't love, truth be told, I didn't love the look of Cella. And I'm a little worried about the quality and the look and the feel. But King Haku was a must-have to me. I would also get Barbarian, I think, that they have coming up. I got to look at the list and see. But I'm waiting on that. I paid for it. It feels like a while ago. But that was the only Cella product that I ordered, that King Haku. You have now received this Atom Bomb figure.
Yes, Sal. Thank you for holding it down for me. So this is the glow-in-the-dark Atom Bomb. And one of the Major Marks got it, and he didn't put it under light at first, and he put the lights off and it barely showed. So any Major Marks, just a pro tip, you have to put it in the light for a couple seconds and then shut the lights off. That makes it glow.
Is that a variant or that's the figure?
I believe they made a regular version as well.
Okay. Now, when did you buy that? Because I was just saying about Haku, like I ordered it a while ago, and it's going to be a while. I know they're delayed and backed up. And is this your only Cella piece, or you have others?
The only other Cella piece I have is Josh Chernoff.
Okay.
And Blue Meanie. You
like the Cella stuff?
No, I don't think they've gotten way better. And like you're right. Sometimes, I have Joey Knight. He's a Major Mark. He was a part of the All Nighters. And he lives in America now, but I believe he's from the UK. And he was a wrestler and is a wrestler. And I have his on my shelf as well. But I mean, this packaging is really awesome.
Looks good.
It says radioactive variant. So you're right. It is a variant.
See, I like that because of Atom Bomb. Right? That's pretty cool. That's cool.
And
now, Atom Bomb, I don't know about you, Shawnee. That's past my. Now, I have the Hasbro just because I wanted to complete it, but I don't remember him at all in the ring.
So I don't remember him in the ring as well, but I dig his gimmick so much that I collect his figures because I just think it's so cool. He has like these little Nerf balls he sells too. It's just
I heard them talking about it.
Yeah, it's just really cool, and it's just I don't know, for some reason he got over with me. He's a very nice guy in person as well. So I just think this is a really, 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 really good set.
Now, can you show us? See, that looks cool right there. I know that it's the Hasbro rip off. Yeah, I want to see it glow. Can you shut the lights off and let's see it glow, or what?
Oh yeah. Let's do it.
I mean, why not? It's a glow in the dark figure.
Yeah.
Go ahead. We'll fill here for you.
Okay.
It looks like the Hasbro one. I knocked the Cella because it doesn't look as clean as Hasbro's or Mattel or even Zombie, but maybe they did upgrade here. Like I said, I can't wait to get my Haku. All right. Oh, look at that. Dude, that's pretty sick, right?
Bro, that is literally glowing like crazy.
That's pretty sick.
That is awesome.
shut the lights off at night in the collection, and your
Yep.
atom bomb radioactive is going to stick out. That's a cool idea. I like that.
Honestly, I really dig it. This just made me like the figure 20 times more, Sal.
Good job showing that off. That's pretty cool right there.
Good idea, bro. Good idea. Because yeah, and like he even has a tattoo of a bomb. I don't know if you could see it.
I wonder if that's on the Hasbro. I don't know yeah, I could see it. I'm looking at that now. Yeah, I doubt that tattoo, that exact one's on the Hasbro. At least I don't remember. But the figure looks similar to the Hasbro.
Yeah, and you could take the glasses off too.
So it moves too. The arms move.
Just the arms.
Okay.
Yeah, just the arms, Sal. Just the arms move, and that's it. But honestly, I give this figure a 9 out of 10.
I think the uniqueness of it,
yes,
that's pretty fucking cool. That it glows in the dark. That would almost get me tempted to have it just because it's cool. But it's not a fit for me in my collection. What I'm trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah, but I really dig it.
The other thing for this week in collecting from me, Shawnee, we talked about this during the week. I was trying to sell that new generation ring just because I bought it. I think it's cool. I don't have space for it. It's not my wheelhouse. I'm trying to trim the collection a little bit, but it wasn't going for the price that I thought I would get, whether it's 500, then dropped it to 4. And at that point I was like, well, fuck it. I might as well open it up and play with it. It looks cool.
Yep.
Let me see. It is fucking cool. Like, it's sick, dude. Did you open yours up yet or no?
No, I didn't, because I don't have the room to display it yet, so I kind of don't want to touch it yet.
That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem that I'm going to have to deal with figuring it out. But the entrance itself is sick. Yeah. Even my wife was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I want to maybe use it. I got to figure out when Hogan came back, if you were ever in the new generation, what figure representation. I know we have the WrestleMania 9, which might be close, but maybe that's the way that I could fit that into the collection. But it was so cool. And the ring and all the parts, it was just, I felt like a kid, even though I didn't necessarily want it, it felt like a kid opening up. And I do think that ring, while I'm not new generation, that ring is close enough to 85 or through 90 ring anyway, without the black ring skirts. So maybe they come up with different ring skirts. I got to put it together. It looks like a pain in the ass to put together, but it's so cool. And now I'm going to try to sell the Doink and Nash.
Yeah, you put them up for 100 each. Like, that's a steal ski, guys. If you guys need a Doink and the Nash, hit up Sal. $100 each. I mean, you guys aren't getting a better price than that anywhere.
I wouldn't think so. I put them up on eBay and we'll see how they go. Now, look, I like them. They're cool. I'd like to keep them. There's no point for me to have them. I'd rather...
I get it, bro. I get it.
That money elsewhere.
Yeah, I agree. And obviously, I mean, your favorite part has to be the entranceway, right? I mean, it has to be.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that right.
It's the highlight.
Sick.
Yeah,
and I think it'll fit. I think it'll fit into a detail shelf, and I could work with that and at least make the space for it. The ring's going to be a pain in the neck, but whatever. We'll see. I got to put it together first.
All right. So, I mean, let's get into miscellaneous, guys. So this is kind of a spot that we're going to talk about, some random stuff and just go on about it, until we get our points out. So my first thing is I want to announce that Nintendo put out their like a release of it hasn't come out yet, but they're going to release an updated version of GoldenEye 007, which was a James Bond game that literally I probably spent thousands of hours like playing when I was a kid. But the game itself, when you go and get an N64 and play it now, it doesn't hold up. It's terrible. But as a kid, it was one of the best games ever. So I'm hoping that when they redo the graphics and all that stuff, that it's a better game to play now. Do you remember that, Sal?
I don't. I mean, I know of it. I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I was more... I started with Nintendo.
Okay.
I mean, maybe even Atari a little bit before that, but Nintendo was my wheelhouse. I still have a nice Nintendo collection where I have a lot of the old games that I used to have.
That's awesome.
Loose. I mean, I wish I could get them in box. It would be sick.
No, I mean,
even just.
Sorry, Sal, but I mean, why would you want that in box, bro? It's meant to be played.
Well, no, I get it, but even if you had the original box, it doesn't have to be mint in box, which are, I mean, ridiculous amount of money right now. But like, to have the box just for nostalgia. But I have a lot of them loose. Anyway, I went from Nintendo to Genesis, and then I think from there to PlayStation, and kind of added it. But I'm familiar with Nintendo 64 and like Ken Griffey Jr. baseball was big.
That was the best game. I love that game, man. Oh, I used to hit home runs like nothing in that game. I remember there was a guy on Seattle, some not Jay Bruce,
Jay Buhner?
Jay Buhner, thank you.
Yeah.
He had the smallest bat. The guy must have been terrible. I don't know, because his bat was like this big.
He wasn't bad, Buhner. In real life, he was pretty good. Former Yankee, too,
yeah,
Jay Buhner.
I don't know why. They made it, they disrespected him like crazy because his bat, like, remember, like Griffey had a big bat because he was so good. So it was easier to hit the pitch. But Jay Buhner had the tiniest little bat.
How old are you, Shawnee?
I'm turning 33 in December.
33. All right. So
89.
basically, I'm 10. All right, exactly. I'm 10 years old. I'm 79.
Got it.
So we have a nice little gap between us there where we can hopefully combine the two generations. But yeah, that was,
sure.
I go back a little bit before that with the old school. But the video games, I think it's so cool to collect in the old systems. I love playing it. I'd rather play the old school stuff than the new school stuff.
I agree, and they're getting them graded now. Mark.
Yeah, I know.
Like I'm like, oh my god, they're grading anything nowadays. I'm about to, I'm about to pop off my arm and get it graded or something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, really. Right.
They're doing everything, which is good, but anything to get more value of something that you have, right? So. But yeah, what's one of your topics, Sal, that you want to bring up?
Well, we watched I was watching the A&E biography. I have been so far behind on it. Baseball season's tough. Now with football, it's even tougher. But, and then my wife gets involved in what reality shows she wants to watch and House of Dragons and all that we're into,
yep.
Which is sick. But she fell asleep, and I had some time to myself, and I watched the A&E biography on WrestleMania, and I was thinking, like, I wasn't old enough to remember WrestleMania 1, but I've gone back and watched it. I remember WrestleMania 3, which was like the biggest thing in the world, Hogan and Andre. You're 10 years younger than I am. So I was curious to get your perspective. And if you, you learn a lot watching that stuff about how Vince McMahon basically went all in to, not that he wanted to put other territories out, but think about how he expanded.
Yep.
Where his father would basically not recommend that. Nobody would recommend doing what he did. And he knew that he needed to reach a bigger audience and made a huge deal of it. And by the way, WrestleMania 1, it sucked. Like, if you actually go back, it was horrible.
It was garbage, yeah.
Oh, my God. Even WrestleMania 2, not great, but WrestleMania 1 in particular wasn't very good. But the whole connection of MTV and how that came along and how they promoted it that way, fascinating to me to watch WrestleMania 1, that biography on it.
And really, it was all thanks to Captain Lou Albano. I mean, who would have thought, like, Captain Lou Albano?
Captain Lou!
Captain Lou Albano literally met Cyndi Lauper on a plane, and they gave numbers to each other, and all of a sudden, boom, like that started everything. If that doesn't happen, I don't even know if WrestleMania happens, right? So it's kind of
how about coming up with the name too? The Fink, Howard Finkel.
Yes.
Who, R.I.P. Fink. I used to DM with.
Fink.
Dude, it was one of the coolest experiences ever where he, I guess, used to watch SNY, whatever. He's a big Mets and Jets fan. And we would tweet. And I always tried to get him on my radio show. The timing never worked out, whether he had softball or WWE obligations. But he came up with the idea based off of Beatlemania to name it WrestleMania. I think it's so cool that the Fink named WrestleMania, which is the biggest wrestling event in the world.
Wow, that's crazy. You DM'd with him, bro. I never knew that. That's insane.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
It's so weird.
I wish I had him on. I wanted to have him on my radio show. It just never worked out. And then unfortunately he got sick and ended up passing away. But and I know Brian had him do the entrance to his wedding and all that stuff. That's really
cool.
Yeah, but I love the thing. Growing up watching him, dude, he was one of the first
he's the best
announcers that I ever watched.
Yep, I love watching his I go back and watch the highlights on YouTube, and there's so many. Like, he was so funny, and like, oh man, he's just classic. But that WrestleMania.
Did you?
Go ahead.
Before we move on or whatever you want to do here, but are you like a Hulkamaniac? Do you understand?
Oh no,
because I know
I can't stand Hulk Hogan.
What?
I would go as far as saying that I hate Hulk Hogan.
What?
Yep. And he was wearing, because he's a fake fuck. He was wearing a Macho Man shirt. Macho Man hated him, bro. I was looking
I did think that was a little odd.
Yeah, I was watching the documentary and he's wearing a Macho Man shirt. I literally I was like, oh my God, I hate this guy even more.
What about what about the mega powers if you're a big macho guy?
Oh yeah, I gotta obviously I love the mega powers because it's just it was bigger than anything, right? Like,
did you go back, or because you're 10 years younger, like you were born in 89, that happened in 88, 89?
Oh, I had to go back. Yeah,
Okay.
I had to go back. So I don't really know all the history of it, but I know that led to him and Hogan fighting because how Hogan was touching Elizabeth and things like that, right? And
dude, the greatest storyline in wrestling. Come on, with those two getting together and then the year breaking, getting a break up, and then WrestleMania 5. God damn, that is the best shit ever.
That's the best because and also the best shit is real shit, and that honestly became shoot real. Macho really hated Hogan for that, and listen, Macho wasn't all there. We know that, you know what I mean? He was crazy a little bit, but I don't think that he was a bad person per se. I just think he was very protective of Elizabeth,
God, I can't believe you hate Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I mean, even watching that WrestleMania, realizing how, for me, that was my guy growing up.
I respect him. I respect him, Sal. I respect what he's done.
Well, as a person, I mean, I don't know him. I would love to interview him one day, but I don't know him, and I could see why some people don't like him, and he does seem a little...
He lies all the time.
I know. I could see that,
yeah. And that's my biggest pet peeve in life is a liar. And the Jim Cornette has an hour where he just goes through all his lies, and it made me laugh so much.
Dude, Jim Cornette is the funniest fucking guy in wrestling, period. Yeah.
Bro, Hogan said he was he tried out to be in Kiss or some shit. He lied about trying out for Kiss. What? Why would you lie about that? You know what I mean?
That's great.
But yeah, so not the biggest Hogan fan, but I respect him as a wrestler, obviously.
Collecting's a lot easier if you hate Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
There's so much. Now, I love it having the stuff on him, but damn, dude. I'm at a point where I love if shit comes out and I'm like, all right, good. I don't want any of that. I have no interest in it. Yeah. It helps.
Bro, Macho's the same. I mean, Macho had so much stuff. Not as much as Hogan, but it's pretty.
Now, you didn't get the new generation ring, so you're not getting the Macho, or you already have.
I got the Machos coming to me.
Okay,
but they shipped them. They haven't shipped them yet.
Okay, but you bought it through a major mark that's going to help you out.
And he's going to send them to me, so I already paid for it. I'm just going to wait until they ship them, and then
what do you think that's going to go for on the open market?
Oh man, I think
because dude, Doink was at 200. Now they've come back down a little bit, but Doink was at 200 initially.
Doink's going for 125-ish now. That's why I said yours is a steal, because the lowest I've seen is 125. I think Macho is going to go for easily 175 to 200.
I'm debating on whether I should dump that or not. That's the ring announcing Macho. I'm not sure. I might hold on to that one. But
how many did you get, Sal?
One, just one.
Okay. I mean, it comes with the hat with the headset, which is the first of its kind. So I wouldn't get rid of it. Sal.
Plus, I like the announcers. I have Jesse the Body and Gorilla and the Fink and all that, McMahon and WrestleMania. I love all that stuff.
Yes, that's right. And that's
all right, Shawnee.
That's really it. But yeah, man. I mean, I just want to throw some plugs in here, a little plug skis for our brothers. Friday, Bo.
Who's walking in the background there? What do we got? A little family?
Yeah. That's my wife, Nicole. Come say hi. Come say hi to
Hi, Nicole.
This is Nicole. Get on camera. Get your face in there.
Hi, Nicole. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
keep this guy away from scooters, will you?
He said, keep me away from scooters, he said. So she was there when I busted my ass.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, my God. Yo, my biggest regret, Sal, to this day is deleting that because I was so embarrassed while I was laying on the floor. And I was so hurt and embarrassed. But I wish I wouldn't have deleted that because I would have loved to have that footage now.
Oh, God.
But in the moment, I was so embarrassed. Oh, my God, everybody just saw me bust my ass.
That might have been the thing that I was like, I gotta hook up with this dude here. That might have been the one.
I was literally like, oh my God, I'll never forget it, man. I was like, we were riding around Baltimore. I was drunk as a skunk at 1:30 in the morning in the ghetto, and I'm fucking riding around with one arm like this.
Sick.
It was the dumbest idea. I should have never done it, but hey, it was good. It was funny, you know. But yeah, so Brian Myers relic card drops on Friday. Bo designed it. Bo J designed it, and Jeff at Two Sweet Antiques is putting it out. Brian actually commented it's his favorite card of all time.
Wow.
Yeah, so he commented it's his favorite card of all time. So go to twosweetantiques.com for that. And that's really it. I mean, anything else, Sal?
No, I think I'm happier with episode 2 so far. We'll see. Hopefully, get some good reaction here as we start to build this thing. That figure is sick, dude. That Adam bomb going.
It's really good.
Dark.
Yeah,
I got some stuff coming. I think I got some stuff coming next week that maybe would be fun for the this week in collecting. But there's always something, dude. I'm excited for it, and the Facebook posts and all that. So we'll try to keep it even more organized as we move forward. But this is basically what it's going to be: just you and I shooting the shit about the pod and about collecting.
Yeah, and I'm so happy with this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. As the mouth of the South would say, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
By the way, did you hear those? You heard obviously the guys talk about the figs on the pod, the retro figs.
Yes.
Basically, Brian was saying the same thing that we thought. Like,
yep.
I hated the Jimmy Hart body. It's too big for Jimmy Hart, and Anvil is the centerpiece of that retro release.
100%, man. 100%. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we love you all. And that's it. We're out of here, guys.